Continuing on with my holiday baking, today I wanted to make my Christmas crack candy. It's only Christmas candy because it's Christmas time, but you can make this any time of year: Easter, Halloween, 4th of July, Tuesday, whenever you want. It's delicious, and all you have to do is kind of change up the decorations if you want. This is one of my most requested candies during this time of year because I think it just finds the most beautiful spot of salty and sweet. It is addictive, so I'm going to make double this year because why not? Very simple, only a few ingredients. All you have to do is really kind of wait for it. It's worth the wait, but I'm gonna get started because I have a lot to make. My oven is preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so while that's doing its thing, I'm going to prep my sheet tray. I just have a sheet tray here lined with some heavy-duty tin foil, and I'm going to give it a good spray with some cooking spray. Get the sides. You don't want this to stick at all because no one likes to chew on tin foil. So now just have to line the tray with saltine crackers. And you want to get them good and kind of snug in there. It's okay if they're overlapping just a little bit. There you go. I used about 1.5 sleeves of saltine crackers, and now I will set this aside and wait for that oven to heat up. But in the meantime, we're going to get the toffee ready to go to cover all these babies. Into my sauce pot, I am going to put some butter, Kobe, and some brown sugar. This is now going to go over to the stove. I'm going to melt it all down. Once it starts to be all melted and boiling, I'm gonna let it boil for maybe 2-3 minutes and then take it off the heat, drizzle all over the saltines, and then immediately stick it into the oven for 5 or so minutes. We've got our mixture. She is boiling and she's done. So now I'm going to carefully, it's super hot, pour this all over as evenly as possible. Into the oven this goes, and I'm going to watch it just for a few minutes. It's gonna be bubbly and all over the place and delicious. And here we go. It's all bubbly from the oven. I'm just gonna help it out a little bit, spread it a little bit more. I've just got some milk chocolate chips. You can use whatever you like. I think these melt the best. So I'm just going to get a good layer going. Now I'm going to let this sit. I don't like sticking it back in the oven. I think it makes the chips weird. So I'm just gonna let the heat of the pan and the toffee melt the chips just for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna spread it around. While we're waiting for everything to melt and get glorious, get your sprinkles ready. Since this is my Christmas candy, I've got my Christmas sprinkles, some gold sprinkles here that I'm gonna use up, and I've got some flaky sea salt that I love for this. All right, it is time to see if we can spread this. See how like glorious it just melts. Now we hit it. Sprinkle whatever I want on here. You can put other candies on here too, but I just think it looks nice with the sprinkles. And my flaky salts. Yes, the saltines have salt on them, but this just gives it a little extra something, and it tastes so delicious and it looks really pretty. And that's it. I'm going to wait until this cools down completely to room temperature, and then I'm gonna stick it in the freezer, probably for a few hours at least. You just want it completely cooled through. You want it completely frozen. Once you take it out, it's not gonna stay frozen, so you're not gonna be chewing on chocolate ice. But it'll come back up to room temperature, but you wanna stick it in there for definitely a long time. It's getting later now, so I might actually even leave it in overnight. Your goal is to get it cold so that you are able to cut it up, rip it up, whatever you want to do with it. It is now the next day, and these are out of the freezer. I let them kind of come up to room temperature for a few hours this morning. So now all I have to do is try to unmold these and chop them up. I'm gonna try to get these out of the tinfoil without taking too much of the tinfoil with me. Oh yes, look at that, see? Just want to make sure it's not like poisonous, but look at that. Wow. That is so good. Sweet and salty and chewy from the toffee, and then the saltine is still crunchy, but it's not like snap. Oh my gosh, these are good. Anyone you make these for will love you. Okay, I'll get the rest of them done now. I'm still kind of chopping these up, but I wanted to show a little close-up of the layers and this beautiful little snack. This is so good. The flavors are just crazy and they're so easy. You have to make them and enjoy them.